One. Welcome everyone to episode 4 of Mute Your Mic.
And listen to somebody else for a change.
Alright, so we've made it to 4 episodes. I'm really impressed by us. Go team. And by team I mean me and Ginny.
Yeah.
Because Erin is busy this week, being, the big esports influencer that she is. So it's going to be just me and Ginny. And if I can hear all of you groaning right now, because you know what a potential shit show this may evolve into. So,
Yeah.
how has your week been since the last time we recorded?
It's been busy. I've been playing nonstop Legends of Runeterra, essentially.
That's not work, though.
It is work, though, because I'm writing a review of Legends of Runeterra, which is why I've been playing nonstop Legends of Runeterra.
Are you at least, ranked? Is this where you tell me you're Iron 4 in Legends of Runeterra?
Look, listen, I have had to focus on a breadth of game modes, not like a depth of game modes. So if you're going to ask me if I'm any good at this game, I'm going to be real honest with y'all right now. I've got the brain cells to play exactly one commander matchup in Magic the Gathering, and that's it. I'm tapped out. So you can infer my skill level, I think, from that particular comment. So it's been good though. I've enjoyed it. I didn't play any of the challenges and stuff when it was when the beta was out, and so now I'm just trying to, I guess, work my way through all the content for quote unquote people that are new to the whole franchise, and I feel like it's quite good. It's actually really quite engaging. I feel like I had a mate who was like, "Oh, I've never played League of Legends." But this made me want to actually play League of Legends. And I was like, wow.
Mistake number 1.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so the thing that I like about it as a lifelong card game player, I've played Magic for most of my life, and I've tried other card games. I do like that it's mostly intuitive. There's some stuff that I definitely don't like about Runeterra, and I've talked about it on Cheddar and other programs. One of which is that I think that their trample mechanic, so Overwhelm, is much stronger than trample because you can't multi-block.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Darius attacks you and is a fucking 15 or whatever when he flips, when he levels up, you just lose. Because you just can't deal with that. And I think that that's not interactive gameplay, and I think Riot's very good at non-interactive gameplay.
Interesting.
Their tutorial is fine. I wish that their base tutorial covered more keywords.
Yeah.
Because
that was a thing,
it makes you do 4 tutorial matches, and then it's go play Legends of Runeterra, and you're like, wait a second, what's this ethereal shit?
Yeah.
Or wait, so because I was trying to farm essence to get cards. Mm-hmm. So I did all the tutorials before I played people, and I was like, wait, first of all, I was surprised that there was more tutorials.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought they were just regular AI matches, and it was nope, you're gonna learn some more shit. And I was like, wait, then why did you let me out into the brave new world? Because it's not this is combos or shit. This is extra keywords that they felt they didn't want to teach you.
Yeah, that was the one thing. I found that a lot of the spells or whatever, or the way that the character card interactions work, I think you can intuit fairly easily if you already play League of Legends. A lot of the times I didn't really have to read what the champions did to instinctively know what they would do. For some of them, it's super obvious. With Elite, super obvious. With Braum, it's really obvious. It's you don't need to think too hard about this. But I feel if you're someone that doesn't play any League, you will be confused by the terminology. Okay, listen. like going deep being like a deck about milling, I would never have guessed that. Like if you're just like the card was like
Yeah.
the beast below 7 till deep. I'm like 7 what till deep? Like where are we going? Like what is happening here? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, my favorite deck that I played during the beta, and I played a little bit at launch, was so you know that there's like the Fiora Shen deck where you like
Yeah.
protect Fiora, you like have her fight other cards, and then like because of her alternate win condition, you just like win the game.
Yeah.
So inside of that deck, I play Karma.
Okay.
So they blow all the removal on my Fioras.
Damn.
And then I'm like, hey guys, it's I have Karma now. I guess I'm just gonna cast double spells every turn. And they're like,
Shit.
oh, I just lose, don't I? And I'm like, yeah, bitch. You just I told Dragos from the Riot Communications team about that deck. And he was like this sounds like the greatest thing ever. He's like, how many people give you angry emotes when you play a Karma that sticks? And I'm like, a lot.
Damn. Amazing. Yeah.
So Runeterra is fun. Let's see what else was happening. Oh, you know what? This will be a great segue into this week's topic. So a certain esports historian, you guys can't see my air quotes, made a pretty interesting statement this week.
Oh man, are we gonna read it out loud? We'd have to. We'd have to.
Do you want me to read it word for word, or can I just paraphrase it?
I think. Okay, paraphrase it.
So, Mr. Duncan Thorin Shields recently declared himself the man. I can't even say this with like a straight face. Declared himself the Kobe Bryant of esports.
Okay, just wanted y'all to know, like, I'm silent, not because I have no opinion on this. I'm silent because initially I was laughing so hard I was wheezing, and I muted my mic real quick because it just sounded really unhealthy.
You know what's really funny? So Lazarus, for those of you, some of you probably know him. Risen Lazarus is a personality on the Twitters. And Risen Lazarus turned it into a meme and put like a bunch of clown emojis with it. And a bunch of people replied with, who said that? To which Laz went, guess. And some people were just like, I have no clue who it could possibly be. There's a bunch of people in esports that into themselves. But whenever he told them that it was Thorin, they were like, yeah. So here's the actual tweet. I'm basically the Kobe of esports. I don't typically work in teams because I can't stand failure from others when I see it comes from not pushing themselves to do what is necessary. So for those of you who don't know, Thorin has gone almost completely off the deep end recently. He is in what he calls a holy war with TSM.
By the way, just so y'all know, like, we're not like paraphrasing that terminology.
That's like the legit name of his video about his like current beef.
Yeah, this man is on his version of the Crusades. This is like, we're talking like modern day Crusades, except it's baffling to me that someone who looks like that is like, you know what, a holy war, I'm gonna wage that against an esports team. I'm just saying, like, y'all don't even need to spell this out for you. Like, Google a picture or something. Just imagine that face being like, you know what I'm doing this weekend? A holy war against an esports team. All right, just can't. I can't with this.
It kind of like made my day. So I'll be real. Since like we're on the topic of Thorin and TSM, I'll be like super real in the sense that like I'm not a big TSM fan, and it's not because I'm a Cloud9 fan. It's mostly because TSM is notorious for not doing press interviews. And when you like fly out to like if you're not like an LCS regular and you like fly out to LCS and they like turn you down for an interview, it's like a mega big feel bad because you feel like you just wasted money. Like I went to Rift Rivals last summer and TSM and so Cloud9 didn't do interviews because they were sick because there was like a flu going through their team house, and TSM didn't do interviews because they're TSM. Oh, he deleted the tweet, by the way. Unless I just can't find it. But yeah.
That does not surprise me, but to be fair, everyone that's anyone in esports now has a screenshot of that, or at least a screenshot where he's being dunked on, so it's there. Like, it's out there. Y'all don't need to look too hard. It's definitely out there.
Yeah, I'll maybe if we ever make a Discord, it'll be like one of the first images inside the Discord is
just the pin post. Just have like a channel for being petty and just like pin a bunch of posts from other people. That's that shit that I would do. This is why I don't run the podcast, because I'm petty and I only have bad ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say they're bad ideas. I'm just saying that, you know, they're ideas.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Okay, no, for real though. Okay, like we talked about this mayonnaise situation for a reason, right? Like,
yeah,
we brought this up for a reason. And that reason is, Amanda's going to tell y'all right now, that reason is...
So I thought that since, you know, we don't have Aaron this week, and we were originally going to talk about the NCAA getting involved in esports, and sort of, since Aaron has the unique perspective that Ginny and I definitely don't have, which is of being an NCAA athlete. You know, one of the reasons why Ginny's not one of those, it's literally just because she's not from the States. Ginny could have totally been a top tier athlete in college if she lived in the United States.
Mate.
It has nothing to do with athletic prowess.
Interesting. See, again, I would have not known that, which is also why we're going to skip the topic this week, because clearly I know shit. So
exactly.
when Eric is back, when Aaron's back, sorry, we're going to deal with that.
So
but
this
in the
week,
meantime,
instead,
yes,
we're going to talk about two things, and hopefully you as the audience will join us, you know, in the comments on Twitter of what has esports given us and what has esports taken away. And so the reason why I use Thorin as our segue is because esports has given Thorin a extremely large platform.
Oh man, you don't even want to
but has clearly taken his sanity.
Oh my god.
Just straight up.
Oh yeah, you know what? I can't look. Okay,
when you call when you call your beef with a team that, by the way, you've had beef with for like years.
We're talking literal years. Yeah.
Like, you caused a website to go out of business because of it. Your holy war.
Okay.
I don't know, fam. I feel like you might lose this one.
Yeah, okay. Just legal disclaimer. Obviously, I didn't know Thorin before esports. I only know Thorin after like he was involved in esports and I got involved in esports, and I've only observed him from afar because, again, I don't live in NA. You know, I'm mostly fucking.
He lived in Korea for a bit. He lived closer to you than me.
Listen, I'm mostly fucking with the OCE esports scene here, so just legally disclaiming this. I didn't know what the guy was like before esports, but I think objectively we can say that there has been some sanity lost here over time. Like, all right, that's just my third person, decently unbiased opinion of the situation that I've observed.
Yeah, so, you know, we thought Thorin would be a great segue into this topic. I thought of it because, you know, with COVID happening, COVID rears its ugly head somehow every week. That, you know, it's my career specifically is on hold because I'm an event coverage person. And so, you know, while I was getting real salty about not working, I was like, oh, maybe if I think about the good times. And then as I started thinking about the good times, I was like, well, there's also some bad times. So maybe it's like 50-50. Who knows? We'll find out by the end. So, Ginny, what would you say if I like put a gun to your head at this moment? What is like the number one thing esports has given you over the years?
Okay. So for those of you who are new to this, maybe, or maybe y'all don't really know who I am, you came here from Amanda or from Erin or whatever, that's cool. Welcome. Also, one thing y'all might need to or want to know about me, I'm really gay. Really gay. Really gay, okay? Really gay. So because of this, I see a lot of drama in my life. All right. I don't like to think that I cause a lot of it, but maybe I do. Okay. But regardless, I am really gay, and that I think gives me an inherent thirst for drama. I have like a sixth sense for drama, and a sixth sense for pettiness, and a sixth sense for messiness. All right. So, how this is relevant to esports though? Well, if you think about personal drama and personal messiness, that shit ruins your life, okay? If you're a messy person, you're bad at relationships, you cause a lot of drama, you do a whole lot of dumb shit in your day-to-day life that affects your mates, that will blow back on you. That will make your life difficult. Okay, if you're someone like me who seeks out drama because you think drama is A, hilarious, and B, entertaining, seeking out that shit also puts you in positions whereby it can ruin your life. Exactly. But,
Mm-hmm.
but. Okay. Enter esports. Okay. You want drama? Esports has drama. So much of it. Okay. You want the kind of drama that makes you like stay up at night to like follow some shit happening like a different time zone. Esports has that shit. Okay, I would regularly stay up and watch foreign broadcasts and be like, what is the fucking tea here? What is happening? Okay? You want to feel like you're piecing together like a giant gay mystery because you think your friends are fucking? You know what? Esports will do you one better. Okay, think about like piecing through translated foreign language comments on some random ass fucking forum trying to figure out if a player that you like is going to be traded to an NA team or not. Okay? That's real detective work. That's real puzzling. All right? All the good things I like about drama, like trying to figure shit out, being involved in the community, being nosy, being extra. Esports has given me a platform to indulge all of that shit without any blowback on my interpersonal relationships with people that I know in real life. So, I was going to say...
I feel like you just made a case for saying that esports has taken your sanity as well.
Okay, shut the fuck up, first of all. Listen, I'm not out here calling any grudges I have with anyone a holy war, okay? Like, let me just... There are levels. There are levels to this. Like, I'm not on the Crusades here, okay? Like, yes, esports did give me a job. Esports did pay my bills for quite a bit when I was still starting out as a writer, and I respect esports for that. But if anyone tries to tell you that esports is like a drama-free, like serious business competitive zone, they're idiots, okay? Esports fans love drama. Like, hey, look, I'm not wrong, okay? We love drama. And esports is like a really great way to indulge in how much you love drama without it actually coming back on you and fucking up your life. So, thank you, esports, for the years and years of entertainment, for all your Dunzo manifestos, for all the inter-region team swaps, for all the public meltdowns that I've had to see and witness, for all the racist people that get called out and dragged publicly, for everyone that gets to come up as for being a fucking dickbag and ranked. Like, esports, thank you. Praise the Lord. Thank you for giving me some shit to listen to and or watch while I eat Doritos on my couch at 3 a.m. Okay, thank you. Thank you, esports.
That was not what I was expecting, but you know what? We take those. We definitely take all sorts.
Yep.
So I guess my answer is not is a more stereotypical answer, which is that esports kind of like gave me a semi way out of poverty.
Yeah, so you have like a
Question mark?
good, serious answer. Like I just had the
Yeah,
dumb bitch one. Like yours
it'll
is like,
balance itself. It'll balance itself out. So like I think I opened up about it kind of on Blake's. So my friend Blake, he's the esports DM. He does a show called Into the Minds of Esports. I think it's now Into the Minds of Esports Media or Into the Minds of Media. But so he had me on his show earlier this year. And so something that a lot of people don't personally know about me, unless you're like a friend of mine, is that like there was a point in my life where like I was broke. And we're not talking like broke, like, oh man, I wish I could go see a movie this week, but I guess I'll have to go see it next week after the paycheck. No, we're talking like, yo, can I buy like I have $3? I could buy like a 2 liter of soda and like some day old bread, and like that's my food for the week type broke. Um and if it wasn't for like esports betting and like writing guides and interviewing random personalities, I would have had like no money. So esports, like a lot of people always ask me like, oh, like how did you get into esports? What's your esports journey? Somebody told me they would pay me $25 an article, and I was unemployed, so that sounded real sweet. That's my journey into esports. So esports gave me, you know, a job when I didn't have one, and it saved me from abject poverty. And I mean, there's all this other stuff, right? Like friends. Like if I wasn't doing esports, I wouldn't know Ginny or Aaron or Frosk, right? But
mm,
at the very minimal, the thing that esports gave, because like I feel like friends is like I feel like you could say that about anything. Like, oh, what did anime give you? Well, it gave me friends. What did what did school give you? Well, it gave me friends. What about education? No, it gave me friends.
mm.
So I feel like saying it gave me friends is like, you know that meme where it's like, what if esports was the friends,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
friends we made
yeah,
along the way?
yeah, yeah,
But like
yeah.
the realest answer is like work. Like it gave me
Mm.
something to do, and it gave me income, which I didn't think I was gonna have. So I guess I thank you esports for less hair, but money in the bank account. So like at least I can get hair plugs, right?
Dope. See, there you go. Look, we had a one dumb bit story and one meaningful ass story. That's
Yeah, I mean, so like, because like, here's the interesting thing happened to me today. I spoke with Emily Rand from ESPN because I guess since there's they need to like fill for content, right? Because there's just not a whole ton of esports going on. They were doing like they were asking people in the FGC like their top FGC moments of all time. And like personal, not like, oh man, well, obviously somebody's going to say Justin Wong versus Daigo if you say like a top moment, or Goichi versus Sonic Fox, right? Like, yeah, that might be the meaningful one to you, but like what, like, or like what, but like what's like for me, I took it as an opportunity to like tell non FGC people a good FGC story.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is on topic. So, what is your favorite esports moment of all time?
Do we like? Oh, I feel like we may have covered this in a past episode. Did we do the episode
I don't
one?
think so. No,
Oh, wild.
no.
I feel like I've had this convo with you somehow. Anyway,
Yeah,
unimportant.
because we probably talked about it.
Okay, so favorite esports moment is probably. Oh, right, it was someone else. Okay, favorite esports moment is probably. Sorry, mate. It wasn't like another esports podcast, all right? Listen. Um, I feel like my favorite esports moment was probably the Rocks Tigers at Worlds in 2016 when they went up against SKT in the finals. No, wait.
Semis.
2015. 2015. Yes.
No.
Yeah. It's
You can keep
2015.
telling your story. I'm gonna go look it up on
It's 2015. It's the fucking Rocks Tigers versus SKT in the finals. 2015.
Nope.
Yeah.
2015 is when Samsung won. SKT wasn't at.
No. No, bitch. That was 2014.
No, because I was at that World.
I'm serious. I'm not joking with you, okay?
Look, I'm at the Rock Tigers Leaguepedia page.
Okay, in 2015.
And I'm scrolling down.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hey, they didn't go to Worlds in 2015.
What?
Because they weren't a team. They went
no
to
way.
one Worlds, and it was Worlds 2016, and they played in the semifinals at Madison Square Garden, and everybody was butthurt about it because everyone thought that should have been the finals. Everybody was super, especially when the only reason why, like, besides the fact that I got to watch that live, was everybody thought that they were getting robbed, that it was going to be, you know, some type of series in the semis, and then it went to and then Rocks almost reverse swept them because they broke out the Misfortune Ashe bot lane that nobody saw coming.
Okay, so that was 2016, not 2015?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I rephrase. 2016. I remember watching that match with a bunch of mates at my flat, and it was just like, I can't describe, like, I guess the feeling that watching that gave me. It's because I think everyone knew that they were essentially the underdogs compared to SKT. And, like, I feel like a lot of people would just assume that SKT would just thrash them and that they would basically roll over and take it. But I remember watching that, and we'd ordered pizza, and it was looking really bleak for Rocks Tigers, Coup Tigers, I guess, maybe at the time. And it was just like, when they started to turn around, I was like, fuck, this is going to go on for a couple more matches and we're out of pizza. But, like, it was just like this, no, it was just like this moment where it was like, I really felt like any team could do anything. And like, don't get me wrong, like, I've been watching League for a bit, and like, there have been some really, really ridiculous wild solo plays and group plays, even in other situations, that made me go, wow, you know, like, people are really skilled at this. Like, League really is just like anything happen in the moment. But I didn't really like believe it, I think, until they almost reverse swept SKT, and I was like, fuck, like, really anything can happen. And the way that the players looked, like, after the match, like, just, I remember it wasn't the result that they wanted, but like, they were just so
I'm wrong,
alive.
By the way. They did go to the finals.
Okay, anyway, regardless, same moment. Okay, I'm describing the same moment. SKT matchup, okay, where it was like, I thought it was fucking basically over for them. And it was just, I never felt like I believed in the spirit of, like, esports as much as I did, like, watching that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it might not even be a particularly noteworthy match in terms of drama. Like, it's not like someone like backdoored the base or whatever, and that like won the very last.
X-Peke, you know.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was a really sick like 1v1 play with Faker and somebody else, or like Faker versus Pina or whatever. But like, it doesn't stand out, I think, in like esports canon or League of Legends canon. But like, for me personally, it was just like that moment at that time with my friends that just makes it my favorite. Do you know?
I mean, I feel that, like, that's like why one of my favorite World Cup matches was France versus Brazil, when Zinedine Zidane headbutted a player, and it's because I was so like that's like memorable for its own reason. But like, the reason I remember that finals like way more than any other World Cup final that I've ever seen, and I've been to physically a World Cup final, is I was there watching it with friends. I was like at a friend's house, and we watched it together. And so like, I get that sentiment of like, oh well, like, it's like hang out with your mates, and it's like really cool, and you know, there's like banter going on, I assume, because like, I don't know, I don't expect anybody that you hang out with to be sitting there in silence.
Oh yeah, nah, constant banter. Like, no one was fucking shutting up, mate. Like, just
yeah.
On
so like
and on.
that's I think that like that's super fun. Like, for me, my go-to answer, basically since it happened, was Evo 2018. Little Majin is a American Tekken player, and this is a year where like Korea's like has been sort of very dominant in Tekken, but this was like a year where like you couldn't even be like, oh, this guy is good or this person's good. No. It was just Korea. And Little Majin went on this tournament run where one, he was the only American in top 8. He beat JDCR, the man from the future, who nobody thought he was going to beat. Like, people were like, oh, he's probably going to make, like, top 8. He's on winner's side. Maybe he has, like, a good match against JDCR, and then he plays somebody in, like, losers semis, and then, like we get to be like, oh, good job, Little Majin, like, golf clap, right? Like, we're proud of you. Nah, fam. Little Majin made you believe that an American could win Tekken. Like, so, Ginny, have you ever watched... I mean, you've been watching esports for a long time, right?
Yes, I have been.
You have been. How often do you hear the crowd, like, clear as day through the broadcast?
Very few times. That almost never happens.
So, you could audibly hear... So, like, being there personally, my ears were ringing the whole time because there was just USA chants and people just being hyped for Little Majin. And every time he connected, every time he did a throw, like, the crowd would just erupt. And the way I explained it to Emily Rand today, and it's a way that I hadn't thought about it until I had to articulate it in a way that made sense to, like, non-FGC people. So usually, especially in the FGC, you might be personally rooting for someone, but, like, the general feel of the crowd is that the crowd is just hyped for good fighting games. So, like, if someone blocks something that you thought was, like, impossible to block, like, you know, when people talk about the Goichi versus Leffen match, the insane defense that was going on there. And so people were getting hyped about that. Or people, you know, getting hyped because they're saying a form of dialogue that a character says. Or, you know, the commentator, whoever it is, gets you hyped. That's usually how, like, audience hypeness is translated in the FGC. And I guess it's the same thing for, like, esports too in general, right? When someone makes a sick outplay in League, even if you're not, like, a Bjergsen fan, you probably still are just like, ooh!
Yeah, for sure.
Right? This was one of the few times in my life where you couldn't convince me that Little Majin wasn't the hometown hero in the Mandalay Bay. That, like, everybody wasn't wearing Little Majin shirts. People weren't carrying Little Majin signs. Like, it literally felt like everyone who faced him wasn't just facing Little Majin. They had to face the whole entire audience, too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, like, such a unique experience in esports to have such a one-sided crowd support. And the only time I've ever experienced that before was when CLG beat TSM at the Madison Square Garden, because once the last team fight happened and you knew that CLG was going to win, you didn't hear another TSM chant, but that was like a culmination of a series, right? Like, that was game 3. This game, and the game 3 was looking real sloppy for TSM, and then, like, the last team fight happens where you're just like, all right, they got Baron, this is over, and the CLG chants start. You knew that was just people being like, holy shit, CLG's about to win a championship. What the fuck? That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like people were like, the whole stadium was about CLG. It was more about the moment. No. This was about everybody wanting to see an American win Tekken, and it was like the coolest experience of my life. You can go and watch those VODs. Maybe I'll put them in the show notes. You can audibly, from top 32 all the way through, you can hear the crowd clear as day through the mic. And that doesn't happen very often. And so that's my impassioned, you know, corner of esports because, not everybody's about the FGC. But if you're here for me, then you are about the FGC and you understand its greatness. We shall not. We shall overcome these team sports with their fake loyalties to each other.
Interesting. That's a good ass moment. That's a good ass moment. Like,
and granted, it's not. It's like a whole day, right? Because it was top 32 the day before, bleeding into the top 8. But it was just, man. I have yet to experience, and I've gone to a lot of events since then. It's not like my last esport event, right? Was Evo 2018. I did a bunch of shit in 2019. But I can't think of anything that like gave me chills the way that run did.
Damn, that's lit.
It is lit.
That's interesting to me as well, though. Is like I feel like when I was asked this question again on someone else's podcast, and the answer that they gave, it was also like a really, really personal one. Like I feel like esports has just such a breadth of experiences for everyone that's in it. And some people will say, oh, like I really liked going to SeaWorlds in China or something one year, or like I really liked my favorite player, like playing up a sick play. But then you also get these moments that I think organically are not, I guess, like I said before, like with the Rocks Tigers one, not really part of esports' most famous moments canon. But like it doesn't matter. Like esports is so personal.
Win Evo that year.
Yeah.
It's not like he won Evo that year. He kind of got he got to winners finals, kind of got blown up by Lowhigh, and then he faced JDCR in losers finals and got destroyed by JDCR. And so it's like, it's not like some like miracle run, right? Where like he got sent to losers finals and then he beat JDCR again and had to face Lowhigh in grand finals, and he like reset the bracket and then lost. Nah, he he lost the momentum, and the Koreans won another Evo again, and hands in the air. Right? So, but that doesn't always mean that it wasn't a great moment.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Like so many people, like I said, one of the examples I always give to people is that people remember, that that moment 37 with from Evo with Daigo versus Justin Wong. That was like semis. That wasn't the finals. But like if you ask like any like lay person, right? Like of course there's gonna be FGC heads that are like, oh well, third strike finals that year was this person versus this person. Yeah, of course there are people that know that. But if you ask anybody what like the hypest moment of that Evo is, they're gonna say that match. Just like if you ask people like what's something they remember from CEO, a lot of people are going to go say the Goichi versus Leffen match, because like that was the most defense people had ever seen in Dragon Ball at the time. Like that felt like the pinnacle of like what defensive Dragon Ball looked like. So it's especially in the FGC, sometimes like the biggest moments have nothing to do with the finals. That's like one of my favorite things about it.
Lit. It's fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean, I like yours too, hanging out with your mates.
Hanging out with my mates, fucking eating pizza at some like unearthly time in New Zealand because we were separate from like the rest of the world time zone wise. It was like something like, I think we were up to like 2 a.m. or something, like just some stupid time. But like, again, like it didn't really matter. Like I think one thing that esports has shown me, which I guess maybe doubles down on what you said earlier, Amanda, is like it's something that I've unexpectedly been able to pursue with a lot of friends or like make friends through. And don't get me wrong, like I am embedded, I guess, in the game side of things, the non-esports game side of the industry. But I feel like some of my most personal or most memorable moments to do with video games have been to do with esports in that like collective way, like celebrating a thing as part of a community for a particular esport. Like those are some of my most memorable moments in the industry. So definitely feeling that one.
I mean, I guess because like part of it is that like even as like content creators or journalists, however you want to phrase yourself, it's sort of a coin flip in who you talk to.
Yeah.
Like you don't go, it's not like you sit in a cubicle at these events by yourself, right? like when you're at Worlds, you're sitting at a table and there's other journalists that you probably don't know sometimes, right? Like, because when I went to Worlds, like Yahoo Esports was still a thing, so like Yahoo squatted up together, and ESPN squatted up together, and then the Chinese media is taking over a bunch of spots, and that's not to like that's literally what it is, because like the Chinese media just like comes like they're huge, they get their own press conferences, and then like you end up sitting next to people that sometimes you don't know, and then like you get to know them by the end of the event.
Yeah.
Right. And so like you never really, I don't think it's possible to like experience esports, especially if you're going, I mean, I guess if you're like at home watching on your computer by yourself, but I think for people like us, it's like we don't usually experience esports by ourselves.
Yeah.
And so there is this like community aspect to it. I think there's a community aspect to it in general. I remember when I would watch LCS with like people in a Skype group.
Yeah.
And I had booty internet, so people would like try to delay their reaction to plays so that they wouldn't spoil what was happening for me.
Amazing.
Yo,
that's good
shit.
You're
from New Zealand. You guys have like bronze tier internet.
Nah, mate, we have good internet in New Zealand. It's Australia that's got bronze tier internet.
Oh, my bad. I just figured since you were another island country that...
Nah, for real though, like I feel that. Like a lot of my experience at esports initially before I started working in it or writing about it was kind of like that. Like just I'd watch stuff with my mates and we'd do it across the internet basically. And even then it was like never a thing that I did by myself. And I think that it's true for a lot of people in esports, like whether or not your background is making it, enjoying it, like aspiring to play in it or whatever. It's like, it's always a thing that you have other people do with you, like your squad. Like everyone has a squad, right? Like, you've got your esports squad. You got like your esports doing party squad. And I feel like that's a thing which is a common experience for everyone that considers themselves even like mildly into esports or even just spectating it. So I don't know, man. Like when people, I understand like athlete egos and stuff. Like I don't to get that. Like don't get me wrong, but like when I see some of the really egregious shit that like unnamed esports commentators write about, like, oh, like what's really important in esports, or like what's the ethos of esports or some shit. There's always like some really weird like macho Chad bullshit about like, oh, like fucking alpha peak performance. Like, mate, like come on, man.
Chad Skarner.
Like come on, like that shit, like, you know what I mean? Like anyone, like no one sitting at home is like, yeah, man, like that really resonates with the way I fucking feel about this fucking amazing group experience that I have with my mates all the fucking time. Like no one, come on,
Nobody's watching esports while also measuring how big their penises are.
Yeah, like it's a complete.
Oh, and who can hawk a loogie farther at the same time, right? Like
it's a completely different thing for athletes to be like, yeah, man, like I'm on a team, like I'm a carry, like whatever. Like that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about like people that literally just comment on this stuff and they're like, man, like, I'm the authority on this shit, and like this is what esports should mean to you. Shut the fuck up, man. Come on. Like if I've learned one thing from speaking to people that work in esports, like Amanda and Frosk, and just anyone I know that is even esports adjacent, anyone that even enjoys the consumption of esports, is that esports is this deeply personal, community-based activity, right? That has been the common thread across pretty much everyone I've spoken to on pretty much any esports podcast that I've been on, whether it's analysis, whether it's fucking just social commentary, like it's a hugely personal, hugely community building space for a lot of people, for everyone. So I'm just saying, if you are out there, you're like, man, you know what really matters about esports? The size of my e-penis. Fuck off. Yeah. Just fuck off. Like that shit's tired. That shit's tired.
So on that topic, since we did say that we talk about things that esports has taken from us, I think esports took part of my sanity, and not in like so not in the way that like I made the joke about like Thorin at the start of the show, where I was like, "Oh man, Thorin's like completely lost it," and if it wasn't, I wonder what life was like for him before esports. No, 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 no. I don't think of it that way. So what I mean by that is that like before esports, I had like a pretty normal sleep schedule. I would say like even if I like stayed up late, it was maybe like 1 a.m. Right? There was like the occasional time that like I'd be running like a magic event, and that was like once a week. So once a week, I ran a midnight event, and I would get home by like 4 a.m. But that was like not regular life. Uh, I wasn't putting my body through weird time zones. I wasn't, you know, going to, I didn't have to worry about when I would get DMs from people I didn't know. So like esports showed me how harsh the world could be, in like I guess in like a really weird way of putting it.
No, that makes sense.
Because like I don't know, I didn't know what a death threat. I never got a death threat before esports. Right?
Damn. Yeah.
I didn't know what like I didn't consider. I never like thought about staying up all night because I gotta watch this LPL game so that I can accurately talk about something that's going on in a completely different region. Right? Like there are times you're like, oh, well, like I have to watch this game because if I don't and like they do something in my region, I won't know about it. Right? So esports I think took normalcy from me. I won't say my sanity. I'll say normalcy.
Yeah. Yeah, I accept that.
Oh, you're judging my answer? What?
No, I said I accept it. What the fuck? It's my tone of voice. Damn.
Okay. So what about you? What did esports take your innocence?
Well, we already know that you think that esports took my sanity. So,
Yeah.
Gonna pass on that one. But but I feel like esports, and this is also like a weird thing, I guess, and also why I don't think I work in, I guess, the non esports side of the games industry now. Esports, for all of its good memories that it gave me, also actually made me very aware that I don't think I want to work 100% directly in an esports environment.
Really? Oh man, I don't know how you came to this conclusion.
Okay, again, very much the same reason as Amanda, is basically I pretty much used to, I had a different job when I was starting out, I guess, in writing. I was a lawyer in like another life, basically. And I was
That's
writing
episode origin stories.
Yeah, and I was writing, trying to get my stuff together. Being a lawyer was not for me, but I had student debt, so much student debt, my astronomical. I was like, I need a well-paying job to cap this shit off. But essentially, I was only really writing part-time at the time, but had already at that point in my life been a long-term spectator of esports and very enthusiastic about it. But I had not really been paid a lot for my writing until like that sort of late stage in my interest in esports. And essentially I was doing a whole bunch of local coverage and getting involved with local organizations and stuff. And that was fine. That was great when I could just be involved with organizations and with people and with the players that I cared about and not have to interact with anybody else. But esports, as we all know, is a community-based thing, and super public. All right, super public. And if you're in like a small local scene like I was, you deal with a lot of big personalities sometimes, and things don't always work out. That's fine. But like Amanda, again, I used to go out in person to a lot of these events. And so while it was one thing, I think, to read, I guess, like shitty comments online, which both of us get I'm sure I still get them when I write stuff. People are like that. But it was another thing to like actually like go to an event and have someone like say shit to my face, you know? Like just fucking bullshit to my face. And I'd be like, yo, man, like, you think this shit is okay? Like, this shit is not okay. Like, I'm like an adult. You're like a fucking child. Like, why would you come up to me and say this shit? And like, it wasn't even so much that I got personally emotionally hurt by this, but this shit is exhausting. Like, it's exhausting to hear, and it's exhausting to be involved with organizations and with people that like ultimately don't really give a fuck about the people that are, I guess, like the middlemen or the people that auxiliary manage the moving components of esports. There are players, there are teams, there are coaches, there are outlets. If you're like waiting around in the muck in the middle of all of that trying to get shit done, like whether you're a TO or you're a tournament admin or whatever, like honestly, fucking props to you. That's just fucking hard because you deal with all the worst people in the fucking supply chain all the fucking time. And like that was where I sat for a while. And I think for me, it solidified. Well, initially, I was like, you know what? Maybe this law thing isn't going to be totally bust. Like, I really like working with players and with teams. Like, maybe I can make this like a thing. And, you know, people are out there that are doing that. Kudos to you. Honestly, that shit is tough. And honestly, if I maybe had bigger balls, I might have stuck it out. But that shit was fucking tiring, man. And, like, just the amount of time that I spent putting up with that shit, honestly, I was like, you know, fuck it. Like, esports, again, does not pay well entry level at the best of times. In smaller scenes like Oceania, you might as well literally just be, you are losing money at that point, being involved in it at a grassroots level. Like, unless you have, like, the luxury, I think, of having some support financially to pursue your passions or interests in esports, it's very, very hard to grind if you're someone that has, like, a lot of debt already or to even find the time. And granted, at the time, I was like, you know what? I got debt. I have priorities. Priorities include paying rent, paying off my debt. And like, I didn't have a lot of the mental space left over after my day job to actually focus on esports in like a healthy way. So after 2-3 years of being involved in local esports, I was like, you know what? I love watching esports. I love the people that are involved in esports. You know, I love spectating on it. I love commenting and critiquing it because I can do that as a journalist. But do I ever want to like embed myself deep in esports and work only in the esports ecosystem? After what I saw, no. So that's what I think esports took for me. It was like my initial, like, I don't want to say like dream, but like one of my initial, I guess, like aspirations was to work within esports and be super embedded in it. And now like I work in video games still, so I'm adjacent to esports, and I'm definitely, it's not the easiest time, but I definitely feel like I'm having a better time now than I would have if I kind of stuck to that particular train that I was on before. So, you know, TLDR, esports, esports, you gave me my dreams and you take my dreams away.
I was gonna say, is that like what is so what esports took from you is your dreams?
Yeah, you know what? Sure, we'll go with that. Esports gave me dreams and it also took them away. But like, no, like in all seriousness, like I think it just cemented that esports as an ecosystem just wasn't for me professionally. Like, but it hasn't dampened my enjoyment of any of the other aspects of it. So
I mean, I know it hasn't dampened because we met through esports. You being on
exactly.
my little podcast called The Analyst Desk, and now
Yeah,
we're here.
well, we met at a time when I was still pursuing it as well.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
So
But
here's
yeah.
my you know, because it's, you know, wow, we almost hit an hour without like going on too many tangents. We were
Amazing.
well behaved.
Oh, I mean, like I only said fuck like 39 times.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
fine. It just
Yeah.
happens every episode. So like, I mean, Aaron doesn't curse, but like that's Aaron's prerogative.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess, you know, let's bring the energy down. Let's you know change it to a warm color.
Change it to a warm color.
Yo, I'm on this kick. So Spotify has this thing called your wellness playlist, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, a wellness playlist. The fuck? Okay.
yo, it's like meditation, and then like
Okay.
music, and then some more podcasts, and then some more music, and some more
Okay.
meditation stuff. So like I start my day with my wellness playlist. So,
Okay, shit. All right.
deep breath and then letting it out, all that stuff. But like, so since one of the things that people are used to us talking about at this point is food,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. You can only. It's your last meal on Earth.
Oh shit.
What is your last meal on Earth? By the way, listeners, I did not tell her this ahead of time, so she is on the spot.
Yeah, I gotta think. I'm fucking shit at thinking, mate. Like this is fucked. You fucked me up, Amanda. Okay.
I already have my answer.
Okay, so mine is definitely this. Okay, mine is something that my mom made once when I was a kid. Like, and also, I didn't even know if she could do it again because that bitch has not cooked in like a decade. Let's be real here. Like, she probably
I'm gonna
has.
send this to your mom, and she's
She's
gonna hear you
probably
call her
forgotten
that
this.
bitch.
She's probably forgotten this dish. Probably doesn't know how to make it anymore. Like, like it's fine. But when I was a kid, when I was like 3 years old, I remember she made me noodles one time that I took to school, and to this day, like I don't know what was in them, maybe crack or something, but like I remember the taste so well. And every time I used to bring them to her as a kid, she'd be like, "Oh, what?" As if she like never made them or some shit. And I'm like, this is like an elaborate conspiracy from my family. Maybe I don't fucking know, but I remember the taste of those noodles, and I know the ingredients in them, like at face value. And I want that dish that I had when I was 3 as my last meal. Okay, I don't know what magic she's gonna fucking do to remember that dish or like make it for real, but like that's what I would want, like some last meal type shit. That's what I want.
So a thing that you aren't sure if it actually happened.
No, I know what happened. Like I remember what it tastes like, but for some reason my parents have collective amnesia about it. Okay, like maybe whatever. Maybe my upbringing was like a government psyop. Who the fuck knows? But that my answer does not change. Okay.
Secretly, Ginny is a sleeper agent, and so her
This
memories are
podcast like
implants.
activates. This podcast fucking activates my killer instinct or some shit.
Ginny, the reason her parents don't remember doing it is because they didn't. These are implanted memories.
Holy fucking shit, man.
Yo, I might have watched American Ultra last night. All right.
Oh man, I need to watch that again, man. I loved it. Okay, anyway,
movie.
tangent doesn't matter. We're tangenting. Okay, I've said my last meal. Amanda, what is your last meal? What would your last meal on this earth be?
Yo, some red curry with duck.
Okay, yeah, that shit's delicious. That's fucking legit. That's legit. Yeah.
Like,
right.
it's been an ongoing battle over the years between fried chicken and waffles and red curry with duck. But, after thinking about it, like I want to feel content and not full for my last meal. Like,
Interesting.
I want to. Fried chicken and waffles. Like now I'm a diabetic, so like it's so much.
Yeah, but like,
so
look,
much
listen,
carbs.
bitch, you're dying after the meal anyway. You're not gonna be alive to worry about that shit.
I don't want to. I don't want to feel like
you want
I'm
to die
like,
comfortable. You want to die comfy. Is that it?
Basically, like I don't want to feel like I'm like bulging, like I got a food baby. I'm like stretching out my clothes. I want to look good.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, you're appealing to my vanity. I get it. Okay, you want to look good. You want to look good, and you want the food to taste good. Okay, yeah, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. See, that's it. See, look, Amanda has been so good this episode. I've been on that messy, dumb bitch, government psyop, fake child shit, and Amanda's just been like, yeah. Here are some normal answers about some normal fucking questions. So honestly, like, hats off to Amanda. Like, this bitch has been the voice of reason. And honestly, I feel like you'll never get to say that on any other podcast. No one's going to be like, you know what? Amanda Stevens, the calm, quiet, logical one. What?
Well, so like I've thought about this a lot, and the idea is that like, would I rather be like food coma beforehand, or like Zen?
You want to be
and
Zen?
I don't think fried chicken and waffles is gonna zen me out, but like red curry with duck, like good duck,
Okay.
is like a religious experience.
All right, that's very legitimate. I
right?
agree.
Like,
That's legit.
and then like, you know, it's just like, but like the thing is that like it could also go real bad, right?
Uh-huh.
They could be so like the downside of like wanting red curry with duck is that they could like get me some like greasy shitty ass duck.
Okay. We're assuming here that like the quality is gonna be good. Okay, like it's not gonna be like in this dream scenario, it's some good quality fucking shit right there. Okay.
But like, I'm not trying to like pick on you, but like, how do you even convince? Like, how would you even get them to make you these noodles?
Okay, look, listen. I don't know. I'm estranged from my family. I have no way of knowing how I'm gonna do this, but that's why it's a fantasy, mate. All right. Okay.
They're like, shit, we have to invent time travel, I guess, to like get this bitch.
Look, I don't fucking know, okay? I ain't about that. I ain't about
There's some
that.
Avengers Endgame shit. They have to like go back in time, grab you some of the noodles.
No, like go back in time, but like it fails, and I start fading out of existence because I'm a sleeper agent who was just created for this specific purpose.
So
Anyway,
unravel space and time.
Unimportant, okay. So my answer is this.
By the way,
potentially...
Ginny, have you set up Aaron's GoFundMe yet?
Not yet. Look, I need to find out how to do that. Like, are people gonna give me the bells and give them to Aaron? Like, I gotta think about
Aaron,
this. Okay,
Ginny, you had a week.
Listen, mate, I've been busy. Okay, I've also been trying to make myself some fucking money in Animal Crossing. All right. I'm not a charity, bitch, okay? I got my own villagers to fucking feed, okay?
Yeah, but if you listen, I mean, we got a videotape. You volunteered.
Oh, okay, listen, I know I volunteered, but did I put a time limit on this shit? No, because a bitch knows she gets distracted. I know myself. I wasn't like, hey, I'm setting this up today or tomorrow because I want a bitch who gets distracted, okay? I'm helping y'all manage your expectations here. So I'm just saying, it's happening, it's in the works, but I have to accept that cheddar money for myself first.
All right, so listeners, it's been great chatting with you. Next week, we'll hopefully have Aaron back, and we'll be able to talk, you know, more current event-oriented esports and social issues. I'm really excited to talk about the NCAA as it relates to esports.
Hell
because
yeah.
I want to learn something.
Same.
Aaron gave us homework, and I read some of it. I'm going to be honest with you. When she told me on Monday that she wasn't going to be on the show, I was like, good. I've only read one of three. I've only read one of like 4 articles.
Yeah, but we're going to have read it all by the next episode because we're good hosts and shit.
I mean, yeah, I will read those other 3 articles.
Y'all heard it here first. Amanda's hesitation, all right? Y'all heard it here first.
Yo, if I'm mad quiet next week, it's because I'm letting Aaron.
Oh yeah. Likely story, mate. Likely story. Okay. You know what? It's cool. You're gonna have to wait until next week to hear us bicker about this topic and us listen to Aaron's informed opinions.
Ginny, where can they find you on the internet?
Cool. So I'm at Ginny Wars on the internet. I write about video games and shit. You can probably find me writing about video games and shit under the same handle pretty much everywhere. So I have just one handle across everything, unlike Amanda, who's about to give you the rundown of all the different handles across different platforms. So Amanda, where can the people find you at various usernames across the internet? Let's give it to them like real slow, like one by one.
We're just gonna give one. It's my Twitter, Amanda T.
Oh
Stevens.
my god! You have so many. Patreon. Plug your Patreon.
It's in the show notes. People read the show notes, right? Maybe. Do you?
Mate.
No. Okay. So it's patreon.com SAGEGNOSIS. That's SAGEGNOSIS.
Yes.
And that's also if you just remove patreon.com and you replace it with YouTube or Instagram. That's how you find my YouTube and my Instagram.
There we go. Look at that.
And Twitch.tv. That's how you find me everywhere else. And that's because I made all those accounts back when I used my gamer tag.
Smart.
My handle. And now, especially with YouTube, you can't change it. Once you click yes, right, when you get the 100 and it lets you make like the vanity URL, I tried to make it Amanda T and Stevens, and like some white bitch had it already, and then I tried to make it Amanda Stevens, and another white bitch had it. So I was like, fuck this. I guess it'll be Sage Gnosis.
Lit. Well, you know, that's where to find Amanda, and you know where to find me now with my one username across all platforms. This has been, I'm gonna get this. This has been another episode of Mute Your Mic.
I hope you listen to somebody else for a change.
Yay! Nailed it. We'll see you guys next time.